Hi, welcome to the channel. On this channel we'll be talking about movies that are my favorite, and we'll be talking about a little bit of the history behind them, and then we'll be reviewing them after. For the first video we could do my favorite horror movie and possibly movie in general, Scream, which was released in 1996, directed by Wes Craven. Well, first let's start off with Ghostface. Ghostface is probably my favorite horror icon. Other than Michael Myers, it's Ghostface. I think it's mainly because he could possibly just be the person in your classroom. That's what makes Ghostface scary, is no one knows who he is, and they have to find out who he is, and he just turns out to be someone they know the entire time by the end of the movie. Another thing I like about the movie also is the acting, I think, is really good. They casted Drew Barrymore as Casey Becker, and when they first casted Casey Becker, they were looking for someone that wasn't real big in movies yet and wasn't real popular. And Drew Barrymore, they were going to originally cast her as Sidney Prescott, but when she got the script, she liked that Casey Becker died off first, and she thought that it would be a cool little twist that everyone thought that she was going to be the leading role, but turns out she's the first victim in the entire movie. And then you got Neve Campbell as Sidney Prescott, and I think she did amazing as a final girl. Randy, I really do like Randy. I kind of feel like I relate to him because he loves horror movies just as much as I do. And then you got Billy Loomis, who turns out to be the killer, and he's Neve Campbell's, Sidney Prescott's boyfriend in the film. They really did a really good job with Stu, because if you watch the movie, then no one would have thought that it was going to be Stu as the second killer in the film. By this time, that not many horror movies were being made around this time, and people were saying that the horror genre in general was going to be dead and no one else was going to be watching movies no more. And then Kevin Williamson decided to write a movie about teenagers that loved horror movies and decided to make Scream, which Wes Craven saw and loved it so much and bought it from him, so they decided to make Scream. But when they originally wrote it, it was going to be called Scary Movie. It was going to be called Scary Movie. That's where the parodies got their name from, was the original title of the movie. And then Wes Craven, there was a specific scene in the movie where Wes Craven thought that Scream fit the title better. Another twist in the movie is that when you get the phone call from Ghostface, it's this mysterious voice, and they make you think that if you listen to these other people talking during the movie, then you think you can figure it out, but by the end of the movie, you can see that they're using a voice changer over the phone. So it changes their voice and it makes them sound completely different, and you don't even know it's them. And then once they show off Billy being the killer, they make you think that it's just going to be him, but Stu walks around the corner and it turns out there's two killers in the entire, doing all this during the movie. And it kind of just it's a really good twist, and probably the best one in the horror genre in my opinion. And I also like that the people in the movie are aware, and they're kind of thinking that they are in a horror movie, so they're kind of living by the rules of being in a horror movie, and they speak about that a lot. They're in our world, so there's movies of Michael Myers, there's movies of Jason and Freddy and stuff like that. It's like real life, so it makes it more realistic, and I really like that about this movie. It's not like a fictional world like Haddonfield in Illinois. That's not a real place or nothing like that in real life, which I just really like that about that movie. When I first watched this, I thought I wasn't going to like it at all because I thought that the mask itself wasn't scary at all. I thought that other people were actually like scary, but once you watch the movies so many times, after a while, this mask does start to look creepy. Like if you watch the movies like over and over and start like kind of understanding that this can be anyone. This is just, in the movie they find the mask at a store for like really cheap and they buy it, and it can be anyone, and anyone can like be behind the mask, and it's really scary. And I think the concept of it doesn't, like, the mask itself isn't scary, but the concept of the movie makes the mask scary, if that makes any sense at all. And then you got Gale Weathers, which is Courtney Cox, and she was known for Friends around this time, and people thought it was so weird that she was coming to play like a mean character in Scream, but she said that she really liked the role because she was so playing Monica in Friends for so long, and she thought that she could just switch it up by playing Gale Weathers in the movie. And then you got David Arquette, which played Dewey, and he was the cop in the movie, and he was Tatum's brother, which is Tatum is Sydney's friend at school. And they make you think, from when I first watched the movie, I thought it was going to be Dewey. The way he acted, he was just kind of creepy in some of the scenes. Turns out it wasn't him, but there's many theories out there that Dewey could have very well had a way into being a killer. But fun fact, Gale Weathers and Courtney Cox and David Arquette actually met on set of Scream, and when they met, they later got married because of Scream. I feel like that Scream kind of opened up the horizon for horror movies. There's many movies after this, and still to this day, that are kind of based off of it. Like, I Know What You Did Last Summer is a clear one, obviously. Urban Legend is a really close one to Scream. There's a lot of new movies that are like that now, but it all just starts because of Scream, I feel, because you got the masked killer chasing off like the victims in the movies, and I know Jason and Michael Myers and stuff did it, but I feel like Ghostface really made people understand that this is what a horror movie is, and they just took Scream as the base of their movies and kind of just built off of that. And I also just feel like this, if you're not really into horror movies, this movie is fun. I feel like this is just a fun horror movie. Like, it's not like, it's scary, some scenes, but most of the time it's just a fun movie. I feel like anyone can really watch the Scream movies and just have fun watching them. Like, all four movies, I adore them, and I think they're just really, really fun to watch with a group of people. And let's talk about the history of it. This movie originally started back in, I think it was 95 or something. It was around that time. There was this guy in a college, and he killed off a bunch of people, and they were a bunch of teenagers at this school, and it was all over the news and everything, and this guy went to prison, and Kevin Williamson saw this, and he thought, oh, that would actually be a really good movie to base off of. So he wrote a movie. I think he said it took him maybe a week to write all the way through, and he thought that it wasn't going to do well because he thought horror movies were officially done at this time, like I've said before. But Wes Craven saw it, and he was already known for A Nightmare on Elm Street, Hills Have Eyes, Last House on the Left, etc. But when he took this movie, he did some changes, but he's my personal favorite director, and I don't think they could have got anyone better to film these movies other than Wes. Now, if I were to rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 9. I don't give movies 10 out of 10 because I always think that they can do something and possibly make the movie better. But this is my favorite movie of all time. And that's saying a lot because I like a lot of movies. but Scream I really do like. So, like I said, 9 out of 10 for Scream. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below. Let me know what you think about Scream, and let me know if you like my review. Now stay tuned, I'll be doing more later in the future on later movie reviews. Now thank you, and goodbye.